Right, I haven't done a video in a while. There's a few reasons for that. I'll go through that in the video further on. But the last week or so, there's been a few changes. Okay, so I'll quickly go through why I haven't done a video for a few weeks. And basically I was, for about 10 to 12 days, I was quite ill. And with being self-employed, if I'm off for a week, it takes me 2 or 3 to catch up probably. So it was nearly 2 weeks I was off, so it's taken me a good 4 or 5 weeks to try and get level. And then the last week or so, I've been moving into this room, which was my daughter's old bedroom, which is why there's still blue tack marks all over the wall from posters and stuff, but eventually they'll hopefully be covered up by shelves and games and things like that anyway. So I'll put a little bit of the room. It's not finished yet, so I'm not going to show you everything, but I'll show you where I've managed to put a few things. First of all, I've got all my Atari, well, yeah, I think I've got all my Atari stuff in. It's not all on display yet, but I've got my links up there. I've got the Jaguar and the 7800 behind us, and then all the 2600, but there's still some consoles down here that I haven't put on display yet. And also, even though I was trying to catch up with work and stuff, I've still managed to make quite a few pickups. There's a few of these from before I was ill, and then quite a lot is just literally from the last 2 weeks, maybe, since I was catching up with work a bit more, and since I started like moving into this room, made a few pickups as well. So I can't really remember what order I got everything in, so I'm just going to go through everything. If I can remember where I got it from and what I paid for it, I will say. But I can remember a couple of bits and bobs that I did get before I was ill, so I'll start with those. And the first couple of things were, I'll just put that one down because that's the second one. The first one is Guitar Hero on the PlayStation 2, and it's got the guitar. I can show you this properly. It's got the guitar and the game in there. No, I don't know if it should have any innards in the box or not, but the box is nice, pretty nice condition. And then also Guitar Hero 2. Now the box isn't quite in as good condition on this one, and it's one of the foldy up ones, but it does have the guitar and the game in there. Oops, I don't want to open this one because it's got the damaged slip in that there, but, and obviously I've shown you the first one. They have both got the guitar and the game in there. And one of them was, these were on Facebook Marketplace, one of them was £8 and one of them was a £5, so I paid £13 for the pair of those, and I will be keeping those. I'm not moving those on for the time being, at least anyway. And I think that was it from Facebook Marketplace. And then early on in the month was the first, well, I say in the month, it was a good few weeks ago now, was the first car boot of the year, and I paid to go in early, paid a £5 to go in early, and I might as well have not bothered. Even though I went in early, there was very little stuff that was good value. But I did make a few pickups. The first thing I saw was only £1, and I saw this kind of rang a bell from when I was a kid, but I couldn't think why. And it's this guy here, which apparently is out of, I think is it Black Star? And he's the Overlord or something from Black Star. Now the reason this rang a bell from when I was a kid is you put like a flint from a lighter in, and you do that with your finger on the flint, and it sparks the light through the front there. If you're about my age, you probably remember those. But I was kind of out of toys and into football like shortly after Masters of the Universe, so I was never really massively into things like Turtles and all that kind of thing, and I think this was a little bit after Masters of the Universe. It does have 1983 on it though, so it can't have been that far after Masters of the Universe. I was only 7, but I don't remember these as well. Maybe they weren't quite as popular as He-Man, but I do remember them vaguely from when I was a kid. But I mean, for £1, I thought I'd have a go at that, get that. I don't know whether I'll keep it or move. I'll probably move that one on. But anyway, speaking of Masters of the Universe, a store had the pair of these. Now they're not in the greatest condition, but it was slim pickings. But managed to pick up the retro collection, He-Man and Skeletor. They are still on the card, but they're not in the best condition. So I'm undecided as yet whether to keep them on the card or take them off. But they wanted a tenner each for these, and I managed to get them for the pair for 15. Which is not great value, but I wanted both the He-Man and the Skeletor, and I tried to get them in the shops, but they only had the Skeletor one available a while ago, so I only wanted to get both together if I could. They've still got the comics and everything, obviously, because they're still on the card, and while they weren't great value, at least getting a fiver knocked off them kind of softened the blow of paying the five quid early entry on the car boot. So that's those two as well. And the last things I got on the car boot, the only video game pickups I got was I got this PlayStation 2 disc for 50p that I can stick in with a PlayStation 2. I think I might already have that in my box PlayStation 2 anyway. That was 50p. This was also 50p because it had no gaming, but steelbook for the Avengers. Pretty nice condition, no dings or any scratches or anything on it, so that's what I mean, 50p. And then this was a quid, which I think is probably only about a quid in CX anyway, but it is in nice condition, complete. And that'll go in the collection with me Xbox, my original Xbox games. Now, speaking of original Xbox as well, in this room are only really cartridge-based games. I've got Master System up there. I haven't moved my Mega Drive games up here yet. I haven't got a load of Mega Drive games anyway, but so they'll probably only take up 1 or 2 shelves. I've got my Master System. I've got Lynx, Jaguar, 7800, 2600, Nintendo 64 down here, and I've got a couple of spare shelves that I'm still yet to sort out. But so in this room, I'm planning that the only disc-based games in here will be 3DO and will be PlayStation 1. I'll be getting a couple of the tall CD/DVD units to put PlayStation 1 games in, and probably put me 3DO games in there as well. But those are probably going to be the only disc games that I have in here. I've got a cupboard under the stairs which all this stuff was in previously. All that, I don't know how I managed to fit it all in, to be honest, but it was in 3. We had the cupboard under the stairs is reasonably sized, and I had 3 sets of shelves in there, like small sets of shelves in there to put things in, and they were the deeper ones, so everything was double stacked into those. So, but all me disc-based stuff, GameCube, Wii U, PlayStation 2, you know what it is. All the disc-based stuff, I still got an awful lot of it, but it's all in the cupboard under the stairs now. The only other exception I might make for the disc-based stuff is I've got a small God of War collection, and my wife's recently, even though I'm not massively into Funkos, she's recently bought me a couple of God of War Funko Pops, which are, again, it's kind of the only there's a few that I would make an exception for. Superman, I've got a few Rocky ones, I've got Liam and Noel Gallagher. I used to have loads of Star Wars ones, but I got rid of them. I mean, they were 10 a penny anyway, so I think they're in the loft somewhere. I don't even think I've got rid of them. So I've got Rocky, I've got God of War, and I've got Liam and Noel Gallagher. They're the only Funko Pops that I'll probably have on display, and I've not decided whether they're going to be in the room yet or not. Anyway, Jesus Christ, still waffling on. So the next pickups, I can't remember if it was just before or just after. It must have been just before because it was quite a while ago. It must have been just before I was a bit ill. And I paid 15 quid for a big bundle of stuff from the charity shop. No consoles or anything this time. Well, I say that. There are a couple of kind of console things I'll show you in a sec. But one of the main things I got was a TP-Link whole home wireless extender kind of thing. And they were throwing that away. I gave them a couple of quid for it in the end. I've got the full bundle for 15 quid. I'll show you everything that I got. And basically the whole home the whole home wireless set was two of them and 2 power supplies. I took those to CEX and basically got a free game that I'll show you in a sec that I've been wanting for quite a while, and that basically cost me it even cost me £2 because I already had some vouchers, but it got me the large majority off a decent value PlayStation 1 game. So anyway, from that charity shop, the first thing was one of these Pac-Man plug and play things. Now I'm not usually too bothered about these, but because it actually looks a little bit like Pac-Man, I thought I'd at least give it a go. It might even look half decent as an ornament on with the 2600 games maybe. So might end up keeping that. Like I say, all of this was including the whole home that I got 33 quid for at CEX voucher. All of this was 15 quid, and then I got one of these terrible At Games Mega Drives. That was also in with it, but it's got 2 control pads and the power lead and the AV cable. I haven't tested it yet, but I would imagine the power lead would power a regular Mega Drive as well. Let me know if I'm wrong on that, but I'll probably give that a test. I've got a Mega Drive down the side of me here anyway at the moment. And then I'll not run through all these individually. There's one or two half decent ones, but in that bundle was also all these games. Now this is just pretty much all, you know, 10 a penny games for the DS. But there is a Black Ops 2, which was a little bit scratched, but I've run that through the disc cleaner and that's come up okay. And there's this copy of Gran Turismo Sport, but it's from Dubai or the United Arab Emirates or somewhere like that. And then the bottom one, Call of Duty again. So not terrible, but not great. But also, like I say, didn't cost me an awful lot. And the next thing that I picked up was I saw that one of the cash converters near me had put a load of games down in price. So we've got F1 Grand Prix on the Nintendo 64 with put down from a £5 to £1. So I bought that, and I bought that for someone who I know didn't have many Nintendo 64 games, but they do have that one, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that one now. I've already got it boxed. I think I've already got it loose as well, to be fair. And then we've got, try and take these. Oh, thankfully they're not stickers, they're just blue tacked on, but I don't really. Anyway, it's Evander Holyfield's boxing, and they put that down from 4 to 2. £2, so got that one. These are all loose, and then got PGA European Tour, which wasn't £2, that was only £1. I'm not even sure if I've already got that or not. And another one that was only £2. It was £2, but I got for £1. It's the World Cup Italia 90 game, which I've either already got or I've got it on Mega Games 1 or something like that. But I think that's why I bought it. Well, obviously it was only £1 anyway, but perhaps I've only got that on the compilation one anyway, so that's why I decided to get that, I think. And then next up, also I've missed one off there actually from the this was probably the best thing I got from there, from that car boot earlier on. I did pay £5 for this, but it's a lot cheaper than CEX pay for it. It's in nice condition, complete, but I have recased it in the meantime, and I'll show you what I've recased it with. But it's R-Type Final. I decided to buy that. I saw that at the car boot and decided to buy it. The closest one to me was about 40-50 miles away in CEX, so that was cheaper than CEX and saved me the petrol. So quite happy with that one. Leave that one there. And I recased it. I went into CEX and I bought this one, 24, just literally for the case. And the reason I bought it for the case was because it had the sticker there, the sticker remover. I'd left it on a little bit too long and it had kind of warped the plastic. But as it happens, since that's dried out, it doesn't even seem to be like there's anything wrong with the case now. So probably didn't even need to recase it. But I didn't own that anyway, and I think it was 50p or £1. So I've got that as well as R-Type Final, which ended up costing me maybe £5.50 and a free game. I don't know. But also while I was there with vouchers, there's a game I've been wanting to try for a long time. It's come down a lot in price, and I think it was only £6 or £8. So I've got a modern game, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I haven't given it a proper try yet, but I will be doing once I've got through sorting this room out and doing a few other things. And then what was next? This was definitely all after I was feeling a bit better. Cash converters again, but this was online this time. And this was, I snapped this up as soon as it came online. It was a bit grubby and I've cleaned it up since. But I think CEX charge £85 for these, and I've wanted one of these for a while. I'm not going to be using it for what it's meant for. I'll be probably putting it somewhere where it's not going to get damaged or scraped or anything like that. And it's the God of War Ragnarok controller for the PlayStation 5. And that was £45, and I just paid paying 3. Oh, it was £40 actually. It was 45 with the postage. So £15 a month for 3 months, and it was saved me £40 buying it from CEX. And I've not even, to be fair, I've not even missed I think my second payment's coming out. I'm not going to miss £15 a month. And I've added that to the collection, which I've been after for a while. I was trying to get one ages ago. They were £50 in CEX when they first came out, I think, and they're now £85 or £90, I think, something like that. So I did that to the collection finally. Next up, this is the final one to a set that I've got on the Nintendo 64, and we've got the box copy in nice condition. Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. It is all complete with the manual. So now I've got all of those I can put in a nice little set, And also, I'm looking out for now the manuals. I do still need the manual for Star Wars Episode 1 Racer and for Battle for Naboo. I've got that in a battered box, but I only paid unbox price for it anyway, but hopefully I'll be able to come across a manual for that, but I don't expect that one's going to be cheap because it's quite an expensive game. So I'm trying to race through these because even though I've got quite a lot to go through, and I wanted to show you that I've moved finally into my own gaming room, retro room, whatever you want to call it. I wanted to try and get through this and not be like a 30-40 minute video. So hopefully I can get through this in about 20 minutes or so. So next up, I've kept the cash converters near me, which, have I bought anything from there? Have I showed you anything from there? No, at the moment I haven't. They put down the prices of a load of PlayStation 1 games. So for just £2, I've got this Rascal, which just intrigued me because of the box art. So that was £2. It's all complete with the manual. Everything's in nice condition. I'm not even sure anyone's ever bothered with that one, to be fair. So that's Rascal. Knockout Kings 2000. Complete onside soccer, but is it complete? Yes, it is. And I think there's a management option in that as well, so I'll probably actually give that one a go. We've got NHL, Fox Sports NHL Championship. Is it 2000? Yeah, 2000. Complete again. And oh, sorry, did I show? These are all £2 by the way, because I think I got five or six for £2 each. Formula 1 97, again £2. Again complete. And then this one I paid a little bit more for. They've had it in for a long while and they hadn't put the price on this one down, and they had £6 on it. I managed to get it for £5 while I was buying that, so I got this full bundle for £15 from Cash Converters, and it's Mila Miglia, which I wanted at the time when Retro Red Steve was doing the challenge. I was trying to get hold of it then, so I could join in. I've been dying to join in. That's what I had a video planned just before I was ill to do Road Rash on the 3DO. I'd printed out what the top of a PlayStation console looks like, and I'd stuck it to the top of my 3DO, and my copy of Road Rash I'd printed out the PlayStation cover and just stuck that to the front to make it look like. Obviously, I was joking. I was trying to make out that I had the PlayStation version, and I was ready to do. And literally the next day, I couldn't get out of bed. So hopefully, in the future, there will be one that I can get involved with, or that's what I was thinking at the time. But I think at the same CEX, but on a different day, I picked this one up, so I will be getting involved. Rage Racer, and this one was only £5. What did they have on it originally? They did have a tenner on that, and I managed to pick that up for just £5. It's in great condition with the Namco demo disc as well. And there we go, Rage Racer, and there's a... Oh, that's my receipt. I thought there was an old receipt in that then from when someone had originally bought it, but no, that's my original receipt. That's my... So, when I was talking before about the TP-Link whole home system that basically the charity shop were going to throw away because I don't think they knew what it was or how to test it or anything like that. And to be fair, I wasn't sure. I knew it'd be worth something, but I didn't know what it was going to be worth before I got it home. So I put some of my existing vouchers together with the vouchers I got from the whole home wireless system, and I picked up these two from CEX, Resident Evil 2 and 3, and they are this Resident Evil 2 could probably do with a new case, but it is in nice condition, complete with both discs and the manual obviously, and even some little extra leaflets in there. And Resident Evil 3, the case is probably okay on this one. Still with, it's got the manual, and then it's got this little extra leaflet, and then the little advert for Fear Effect, and two little cards as well. I think maybe one of them should be out of Resident Evil 2, I don't know. So, great condition, and basically cost me some existing vouchers, but that one was basically almost free because of those wireless converters. And then next up, I've got a little bundle from That Retro Game Shop in Newcastle, run by Kev Moon, and I hadn't been there for quite a while. I went in to see if he had any Atari stuff, he didn't have on this occasion, but he did have a couple of little bits and bobs that I fancied, and I managed to get for this whole lot cost me £20 anyway. It should have come to 21, and he did this full bundle for £20. The first one, even though it's got someone on that I probably shouldn't like, I had this game when I originally had a Game Boy Advance, and it's Steven Gerrard's Total Soccer. That was £3, I think. Or the price on it was £3 before he knocked me £1 off, off the full bundle, like I say. So I've got that really nice condition in the box. Steven Gerrard's Total Soccer. I haven't got that many Game Boy Advance games at the moment. Well, not boxed ones. I've got loads of loose ones. And then the next one's along a similar vein. Germany 2006 World Cup, and this one is sealed, and that was £5. I know it's not the greatest title, but again, this is one that I actually had when I originally had a Game Boy Advance. Before I even had an SP, I had the purple or indigo original Game Boy Advance that you had to put batteries in. And then this one was £8, which I thought for that price, I thought I'll have to give it a go. I've never played it on any other system, but I know it's quite popular, and I know on the PlayStation 2, I think it's a reasonably valuable game, and it's Simpsons Road Rage on the Game Boy Advance. So I will be giving that one a go. It's a bit like Crazy Taxi, I think. And to make the bundle up to £20, even though it should have come to 21 because there's 5 of them, those games came to £16. He gave me 5 Game Gear, storage cases for some. I've got some loose Game Gear cartridges up there, and I think we're down to the last couple of pickups now, so hopefully this won't be too long, this video. Hopefully only 22 or 23 minutes long. The first thing I got was, well, I'll tell you what, we'll start with. This is actually the most expensive one, but I got this first, so we'll start with this one. I had the box from about over a year ago, probably, when I bought that massive big bundle of Atari boxes. It's not in the greatest condition, but because it was in that bundle, I wanted to make this up, because when I thought I'd bought this a few months ago, I bought the manual as well, and so I still had that. So for quite a while I've had the box and the manual, and I've now bought a loose copy on eBay. I think it cost me £50, which is not cheap, but not as I think it's 65 for a complete copy in CEX, so I'm probably paying about the going rate, maybe a little bit less. The manual was a £5, and then the box maybe cost me £1 or £2, so I've probably paid 55, 57 quid for this, and it's not in the greatest condition, but because I've put it together piece by piece, that for some strange reason that means a bit more. Anyway, it's Desert Strike, so that takes me, at the very least, takes me into single figures, but there's more to come. So I've got Desert Strike on the Atari Lynx, one of the most expensive games, not the very top, not the very biggest hitters. I've got 2 or 3 of those still to get. I'm hoping I'll be able to get those in Doncaster. And then next up, another couple. These are just loose ones though. Half me Atari Lynx collection at the moment is loose cartridges anyway. But these were actually from the Netherlands, and one of them, the reason I got these is because one of them I don't think I've ever seen for sale. I mean, it has been for sale. I've checked sold listings and missed it a couple of times, but I've never actually happened upon seeing this for sale at the time in the UK. So I bought these 2. I think they cost me £40 or £45, about £50 with postage. So again, not cheap, but when you're trying to get a full set of games, you know, obviously down the line I'll probably try and source a box and manual for these, or replace these with a complete one, and then I'll try and offset that cost with these ones. But I've got Gordo 106 and Dino Olympics. Dino Olympics hasn't proved easy to come by either. And then just recently, this was part of my birthday present. My birthday was yesterday. My wife bought me this from Jace at Retro Games. It's a sealed copy of Baseball Heroes, and that was only £30. So I think now I might be down to 5. I might be down to needing 5 for the Atari Lynx, and I'm hoping to get 2 or 3 from Doncaster Gaming Market, and I'm hoping that they're going to be the most expensive ones. I hope they don't cost me that much, but I think they're going to be the most expensive ones that I've got left to buy, I think. Anyway, finally, we're down to the last thing. I've not added to this collection for quite a while. It's proved very difficult to find anything to add to my collection that I don't already have, and it's for the Atari 7800. It is probably the easiest one to find out of the ones I've got left, or had left, to add, and it's Ninja Golf. and it is complete. I've got it in a box protector now. The box does need a little bit of work doing to it because there's little bits of damage and stuff. I've got it in the box protector for now, but I will be working on this box to try and make it a little bit better. But the reason I bought this one is that cost me £22. I haven't seen many for sale at all. Obviously, you can see it's the original version because it doesn't have the daft Peggy rating from the re-release from a couple of years ago. It's proved quite difficult to find, and I've never seen it anywhere near as cheap a price as that. I won this on bids, £22.05. So that'll be going in to my Atari 7800 collection. I might as well stick that in now. So hopefully that explains why I've not been on YouTube for a while. I have still been watching when I can, and I've still been liking the videos. Every video I've watched to do with the retro gaming scene, I've still been leaving a thumbs up on. But I've not had as much time to watch them recently until the last week or so. But started getting involved again. And also, when I've been watching the videos after work, I've been watching them on the television downstairs on the app, and it's a nightmare to try and leave a comment with the remote control, which is it's a poor excuse, I know, but that's the only one I've got. But I have been watching the videos, I have been liking the videos. If I usually comment and I haven't commented on my videos, it's not been deliberate. It's not been a slight on anyone, and I will be leaving comments going forward. Hopefully you like this video, and you feel free to leave a comment on this one, or just ignore me like I seem to have been doing to everyone else for the last couple of months. But that's me, hopefully caught up for now. Thanks for watching, and hopefully it won't be as long before the next one, and I can show you a bit more of this room, I hope.